Imagine sailing across the vast, silent waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The wind is steady, the waves are calm, nothing seems unusual, but then you spot a ship, drifting alone in the distance. Its sails are set, its cargo is intact, its food is still on the table, and its crew has completely vanished. No bodies, no signs of struggle, no explanation. This is the chilling mystery of the Mary Celeste, one of the most famous maritime mysteries in history. For more than 150 years, people have asked the same question. What happened to the 10 people aboard that ship? Tonight, we uncover the strange events behind the ghost ship discovered in 1872. And by the end of this story, you may realize something unsettling. The ocean may be hiding secrets we will never fully understand. The ship at the center of this mystery, the Mary Celeste, was a merchant brigantine built in 1861. It was not unusual, it was not cursed, it was simply a cargo ship used to transport goods across the Atlantic Ocean. In November 1872, the ship departed from New York on a routine journey. Its destination was Genoa. The cargo, 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol. Commanding the ship was Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced and respected sailor. But this voyage was different for one reason. Captain Briggs brought his family with him. On board were his wife Sarah Briggs, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia. Along with them were 7 crew members. All were experienced sailors. Everything seemed normal when the ship left port. No one could have imagined that this ordinary voyage would soon become one of the greatest maritime mysteries ever recorded. For several weeks, the voyage appeared uneventful. The captain carefully recorded details in the ship's logbook: wind conditions, weather, course, speed. The final logbook entry was dated November 25, 1872. At that time, the ship was sailing near the Azores, a group of islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Everything seemed normal. No storms, no problems, no danger reported. But something strange happened after that entry, because that was the last message anyone ever recorded from the crew. After that moment, the people aboard the ship simply disappeared. 9 days later, another ship spotted something strange. The vessel was called the Dei Gratia. Its crew noticed a ship drifting strangely on the horizon. At first, it didn't respond to signals. No crew appeared on deck. That was unusual. The captain of the Dei Gratia decided to investigate. When sailors boarded the drifting vessel, they discovered something deeply unsettling. The ship was the Mary Celeste, but there was no one on board. The entire crew had vanished, yet the ship itself was still in good condition. Its cargo was still there. Its sails were still raised. Its supplies were untouched. In fact, there was 6 months' worth of food and water still on the ship. Even more disturbing, personal belongings were still inside. Clothing, money, navigation equipment. Everything looked as if the crew had just stepped away for a moment. But they never returned. Investigators began examining the ship, and they found details that made the mystery even stranger. First, the lifeboat was missing. This suggested the crew may have abandoned the ship. But why would experienced sailors abandon a perfectly seaworthy vessel? Second, the ship had minor damage. Some water was found in the hold, but it was not nearly enough to sink the ship. In fact, the vessel could easily have continued sailing. Third, 9 barrels of alcohol were empty, but there were no signs of fire or explosion. Another strange discovery involved the ship's navigation tools. The sextant and chronometer were missing. These tools were used for navigation. If the captain took them, it suggests the crew may have left the ship intentionally. But where did they go? And why? Even more disturbing, the captain's family had vanished too. No one would willingly abandon a ship in the middle of the ocean with a small child, unless they believed staying on board was even more dangerous. Over the past 150 years, many theories have attempted to explain what happened. Some are logical, others are terrifying, and some are simply impossible. Let's explore the most famous explanations. Theory 1. Alcohol explosion. Shear. Remember the cargo of industrial alcohol? Investigators later suggested something unusual. Alcohol vapors may have leaked from the barrels. These vapors can create invisible explosive gas. Captain Briggs may have feared the ship could explode. If he believed an explosion was imminent, he may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily. Perhaps they tied the lifeboat to the ship with a rope. But if the rope snapped, the lifeboat would drift away into the vast Atlantic Ocean, and the crew would be lost forever. This is considered the most widely accepted theory, but it still has problems, because no evidence of explosion was ever found. Theory 2. A seaquake. Another theory suggests a rare phenomenon called a seaquake. This is an underwater earthquake that can shake ships violently. If such an event occurred, the crew might have panicked and abandoned ship. But again, there is no clear evidence that a seaquake occurred at that time. Theory 3. Piracy. Some people suspected pirates attacked the ship, but this theory quickly falls apart. Why? Because pirates steal cargo, and the cargo of alcohol was still untouched. Even the crew's valuables were left behind. Pirates would never leave a ship so full of valuable goods. Theory 4. Giant sea creature. In the 1800s, some people even suggested a giant sea creature attacked the ship. Stories of enormous squid and sea monsters were popular among sailors. But of course, there is no evidence of such creatures attacking ships. Still, the ocean remains one of the least explored places on Earth. Theory 5. Paranormal forces. Some believe the ship encountered something supernatural. Ghost ships, curses, or mysterious forces within the Bermuda Triangle. Although the Mary Celeste was not exactly inside that region, paranormal enthusiasts often connect the mystery to strange ocean phenomena. But these ideas remain speculation. The mystery became even more famous thanks to a writer. In 1884, the legendary author Arthur Conan Doyle published a fictional story inspired by the Mary Celeste. His version exaggerated many details. He changed facts, added drama, and even invented violence. The story spread quickly. Many readers believed it was real. This helped transform the Mary Celeste into one of the most famous ghost ship stories in history. Today, more than 150 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. No bodies were ever found. No lifeboat was ever discovered. No message explaining the disappearance was left behind. The Mary Celeste itself was eventually recovered and returned to service. But its story never faded, because somewhere in the vast waters of the Atlantic Ocean, 10 people disappeared without a trace. Did they panic and abandon ship? Were they victims of a tragic accident? Or did something far stranger happen that day? Perhaps the ocean knows the truth, and, perhaps, it intends to keep that secret forever.